Hey, how's it going, everyone? So the Green Bay Packers have already started the off-season process, signing 16 total players to future contracts, which is typically them signing a lot of their former practice squad players as well as some other players as well that will then account to their 90-man roster this upcoming offseason. The signings were just put out via the transaction wire today from Aaron Wilson on Twitter. Packers signed Austin Allen, Jeff Cotton, Danny Etling, Gene DeLance, Tyrell Ford, Benji Franklin, Tyler Goodson, Nick Gugamos, Ladarius Hamilton, Chris Slayton, Keandre Thomas, Parker White, and James Wiggins. And it is officially the offseason for the Green Bay Packers, so on this channel, I'm going to start to dive down into pretty much everything that happens this offseason, from free agency to salary cap and, of course, a draft. So if that does interest you, please consider going down and clicking the subscribe button down below if you haven't already. So I quickly wanted to run over each of these players that the Packers did just sign today to future contract. First of which, Austin Allen, a big-bodied tight end, 6'8", 253 pounds. He was undrafted out of the University of Nebraska. He was originally signed to the Packers practice squad 1 week ago on January 3rd. Robert Tonyan, Mercedes Lewis, and Tyler Davis, albeit Davis is a restricted free agent, they were all impending free agents this upcoming offseason. Jeff Cotton, a wide receiver, undrafted in 2020 out of the University of Idaho. He was originally signed to the Green Bay Packers practice squad on November 9th. Danny Etling, quarterback, we're all familiar with him. He's been on the roster in some capacity since dating all the way back to last January. He's been the third / practice squad quarterback all last offseason, and then, of course, into this preseason and this season as well, and now into this offseason, he'll potentially be the third quarterback yet again. He was a 7th-round pick in 2018 out of LSU. Gene DeLance, an undrafted tackle from the 2022 draft out of Florida, signed to the Packers practice squad originally on December 13th. Tyrell Ford, a cornerback the Packers just signed today. He wasn't on the Packers practice squad. This is a new player. He was a 2nd-round pick in the CFL draft in 2022 after going undrafted in the NFL draft, and he actually ran the fastest 40-yard dash in the CFL Combine with a 4.42. Benji Franklin is a undrafted defensive back from Charleston State. Tyler Goodson, we obviously all know him. I've talked about Tyler Goodson a ton on this channel, even have a couple videos last preseason about Tyler Goodson. He was one of the primary undrafted free agent signings from the Packers after last year's draft. Been the practice squad running back on the Packers roster since then, and I still think he can be a very solid running back in the NFL. I think he has tremendous ability, one-cut ability, and then, of course, being a receiving back as well. I'm glad Green Bay is keeping him around. Nick Gugamos is a 6'5" tight end who originally played Division III football and not much of it at St. Thomas University. He was originally signed to the Green Bay Packers practice squad back in November. Ladarius Hamilton, an edge rusher who's been with the Packers for a very long time. He's been with them since the 2021 offseason. He saw action in 6 games in 2021 and 3 games in 2022 when he was called up from the practice squad. Chris Slayton, a defensive tackle, originally a 7th-round pick in the 2019 draft to the New York Giants. He joined the Packers in the 2022 offseason and actually put up a very impressive preseason. A lot of people wanted Chris Slayton to make the roster. It didn't end up happening. He was waived, but then he was brought back to the Packers practice squad, and then again here signed to a futures contract. Keandre Thomas, another player that's been with the Packers for a decent bit here. He was a cornerback that's been with them since the 2021 offseason, and he's been on the Green Bay practice squad ever since. Parker White, another player that is new. They just signed him today. He hasn't been with the Packers at all. He's a 5-year kicker out of South Carolina from this past year. He made 72 of 99 field goal attempts in his college career and also 152 out of 154 extra points. And this is an important signing just because Mason Crosby, is an impending free agent. Whether or not they'll bring him back, I think they will. I think Crosby still has gas left in the tank, so to say, and I do think they should bring him back. And then the final player, James Wiggins, another new player today, a safety originally drafted in the 2021 draft in the 7th round to the Arizona Cardinals. The Packers have a lot of work to do with the safety position this offseason. It was pretty rough this year with Darnell Savage not living up to the hype. Adrian Amos kind of starting the season really slow. Luckily, they did sign Rudy Ford, who I liked a lot, but Rudy Ford is also an impending free agent with Adrian Amos. So there's going to be hopefully a lot of turnaround at the safety, but I do believe they should bring back Rudy Ford. I liked what I saw from him. They did accept the 5th-year option on Darnell Savage. If they wanted to somehow get rid of him, they could trade him, but they would have to eat most of that contract as it is fully guaranteed for that 5th-year rookie option. But that about does it for this video. Just a quick update on all the future contracts the Packers have signed today. And before I go, I wanted to remind you guys about this awesome giveaway for the month of January. This signed full-size Packers Eclipse white helmet signed by Aaron Jones. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with Aaron Jones. He's due $20 million in terms of cap hit next year. I don't see them moving on from him. They can restructure his contract, push some of that money out, save $10 million off the cap. That's kind of what I guess they'll do there. But in order to enter this giveaway for the signed Aaron Jones helmet, you head to pristineauction.com, register on their website using my registration code BASS, B-A-S, on pristineauction.com, and you'll be entered in this giveaway. But that about does it. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Pack Go.